a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. I saw the figure 5 in gold. I saw the figure 5 in gold, also known as the figure 5 in gold, is a 1928 painting by American artist Charles Demuth. It has been described as influenced by Futurism and Cubism. Painted as a homage to Demuth's friend William Carlos Williams, the painting references Williams' poem The Great Figure, which describes a fire engine speeding through the streets of New York on a rainy night. The painting's title is a phrase from the poem. Charles Demuth. Demuth was known as a painter in the precisionist style, incorporating clean lines and geometry into images. Art historian H.W. Jansen mentions Demuth's interactions with Cubist painters in New York, and the connections between Futurism and Precisionism styles. This particular work was part of a series of 5 abstract, poster-style portraits Demuth painted between 1924 and 1929 in homage to his personal artist and writer friends, William Carlos Williams, Georgia O'Keeffe, Arthur Dove, Charles Duncan, and John Marin. He and Williams had become friends when they were both living in the same boarding house in Philadelphia while Demuth was studying at the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts and Williams was attending the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine. As with I Saw the Figure 5 in Gold, each painting incorporated the artist's name. This portrait series is often described as also including writers Marsden Hartley, Gertrude Stein, Eugene O'Neill and Wallace Stevens. But those 4 were never completed. The Yale University Art Gallery has the preliminary sketch, in watercolor and graphite, for the Marsden Hartley portrait. Poem and painting. William Carlos Williams claims that the inspiration for the 32-word poem The Great Figure came from seeing a fire engine pass him by. Sounding gong clangs and siren howls as it receded in the night. He said he was so struck by the sight that he took paper and pencil out of his pocket and wrote the poem, standing there on the sidewalk. 2 lines, I saw the figure 5/ in gold, were taken by Demuth for his painting's title. The upper right corner has an ock, implying a fragment of a large number 5, repeated 3 times in progressively smaller, complete number 5s to create an impression of the fire engine moving away from the viewer. The fire engine itself is reduced to an abstracted form composed of red rectangles, but there is a hint of a ladder on the right side, and an axle across the bottom. Above the truck are globular street lamps flanked by sidewalks and buildings in blacks and greys. Demuth conveyed his friendship with Williams by incorporating fragments of his name, Bill, across the top, and Carlo, in yellow dots as in an illuminated theater sign. Across the bottom the painter has placed his own initials, CD, and also the poet's, WCW, in the same size and color. The painting was first exhibited at Intimate Gallery, New York as Charles Demuth, 5 paintings, April 29–May 18, 1929. It is in the permanent collection of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York, United States of America. It is described as a combination of oil paint, graphite, ink, and gold leaf on paperboard. Dimensions 35.5 by 30 inches. Demuth died in 1935, at the age of 51 years. He bequeathed the painting to Georgia O'Keeffe. She gifted it to the MMA in 1948 as part of the Alfred Stieglitz collection. The painting has never been sold. Roberta Smith described the work in the New York Times. Demuth's famous visionary accounting of Williams' I Saw the Figure 5 in Gold is a painting whose title and medallion-like arrangement of angled forms were both inspired by a verse the poet wrote after watching a fire engine streak past him on a rainy Manhattan street while waiting for Marsden Hartley, whose studio he was visiting, to answer his door. Describing its importance, Judith H. Dobrzinski in the Wall Street Journal wrote, "It's the best work in a genre Demuth created, the poster portrait. It's a witty homage to his close friend, the poet William Carlos Williams, and a transliteration into paint of his poem, The Great Figure. It's a decidedly American work made at a time when U.S. artists were just moving beyond European influences. It's a reference to the intertwined relationships among the arts in the 1920s, a moment of cross-pollination that led to American modernism. And it anticipates pop art. Robert Indiana, a popular and famous artist, from the 1960s onward, painted the figure 5 in 1963. It incorporated the 3 yellow/gold, size diminishing number 5s from Charles Demuth's painting superimposed over a red star. The painting is used as the cover picture of the novel Uncle Petros and Goldbach's Conjecture. The painting is included in a book 100 Best Paintings in New York. In March 2013, the U.S. Postal Service issued a pane of 12 first-class postage stamps portraying modern art, one of which was Demuth's painting. The timing was 100 years after the Armory Show New York, 1913, which had given many Americans their first look at modern art. The stamp set was titled Modern Art in America 1913-1931 stamps. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?